I hate airports, mainly because of the unspoken social rules, like you're supposed to pretend everyone around you isn't also crammed into a metal tube about to hurtle through the sky at hundreds of miles per hour. I was already a nervous flyer, so pretending everyone else wasn't equally terrified always felt like a monumental task. This time was worse. My grandma had passed away, and I was flying back home for the funeral. I felt numb, like a malfunctioning robot just going through the motions. Get to the airport, check the bag, get through security, find the gate, sit and wait. I was halfway through a lukewarm coffee when I saw him. He was sitting across from me, an older gentleman with kind eyes and a worn leather-bound book. He kept glancing at me, a gentle, almost questioning look. I tried to avoid eye contact, fiddling with my phone, anything to signal I wasn't open to conversation. But he persisted. "Excuse me, miss," he said, his voice soft but clear, "are you all right?" I wanted to snap at him, tell him to mind his own business. But something in his eyes stopped me. I just shook my head, a lump forming in my throat. He nodded slowly, then opened his book, but I could tell he hadn't started reading. A few minutes passed in silence, the only sound the dull roar of the airport. Then he spoke again. "You know," he said, still looking at his book, "my wife always hated flying. Said it felt unnatural. But she loved seeing new places. I always held her hand during takeoff, and she'd squeeze it so tight I thought my fingers would break." He looked up at me then, a small smile on his face. It always helped, just knowing someone was there. That was it. That was the crack in the dam. Tears started streaming down my face, silent sobs racking my body. I couldn't stop them. He didn't say anything, just reached over and gently placed his hand on mine. His hand was warm and calloused, and his grip was firm, reassuring. I squeezed back, just like his wife used to. We sat like that for a long time until my flight was called. As I stood up, I finally found my voice. "Thank you," I whispered. "I really needed that." He smiled again, a genuine, heartfelt smile. "Safe travels, dear. And remember, you're not alone." As I walked away, I realized he didn't know why I was upset, didn't know about my grandma. He just saw someone in pain and offered a hand. And in that moment, that simple act of kindness, I felt a little less numb, a little less alone. The airport suddenly felt a little less terrifying.